Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is J.G. Heithcock, General Manager for Retrospect at StoreCentric. Thank you for joining us, J.G.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you've got a brand new version out of Retrospect, and I guess a couple of different flavors, really, depending on the needs of your customers here. Give us an overview of what's new here, and maybe describe, first of all, what Retrospect is all about.
Sure, absolutely. So Retrospect is backup for businesses. We do a full, complete solution. That is to say, all kinds of physical products as well as virtual, be that laptops or desktops or servers. We also do backup application data like email, as an example. We have two main products. We have Retrospect Backup. That's going to be Retrospect Backup 17 that was just released, as well as Retrospect Virtual 2020, also just released.
So tell us about the differences between the two, right?
Yeah, and so Retrospect Backup is our flagship product. It's what we've been shipping for over 30 years now. That's hundreds of petabytes of data, shipping internationally, 500,000 software licenses throughout the world. So the flagship product has backup for both agents, that is to say backing up laptops, and we also have something that's patented that is the proactive AI. This proactive AI got a big update in this release. It's up to 10 times faster. Proactive AI is a policy-based backup strategy. So in a traditional backup solution, you'll have your list of sources that you're wanting to back up that will be going to one or more targets, and you'll have some schedule that will be very straightforward. It'll be like every morning at 9 a.m., every Friday evening at 10 p.m., something like that. And when the backup runs, it goes through the list, and it backs up Abe, and then it backs up Betty, and backs up Carla, and if Betty isn't around, well, she just gets skipped. So proactive AI, in contrast, is a policy-based backup where you say, I want my people to be backed up once a week, once a day, every hour, whatever your policy is, to these destinations, these targets, and proactive will go through and it will continually monitor the situation and react to whatever it's seeing. So it would want to go and back up Abe, and it would want to go and back up Betty, but if Betty's not there, it moves on to Carla, but then it will go back and check again. See, did Betty come in? Let's get her. Let's catch up. Once all the things are up into a policy and everyone's in what you call compliance, then proactive just sits around and says, okay, whenever things get out of compliance, that's when I'm going to come into play again. And it'll just keep checking and keep your policy-based system up to date. So again, this proactive AI got 10 times faster than the previous versions. The other big release that has come out is something called automatic onboarding. And this, by the way, is available for the first time for Retrospect Virtual as well as Retrospect Backup. And this is tied in with our management console, which I might really want to call a web-based console. So if you were to go to console.retrospect.com, you could create a free account. You'll get a UUID that you can then add to either Retrospect Backup or to Retrospect Virtual. And analytic data will be sent by those backup engines up to our cloud, and you can see them in a single web browser. As part of our feature set, one of the new things is this automatic onboarding. Automatic onboarding is for deploying Retrospect to a new environment. Now, maybe it's a new site if you've got an existing business, or it's your overall site because it's a brand new account. And one of the challenges with any kind of backup solution that's going on multiple machines and so forth is deploying that. You have to kind of know a lot of things. You have to have a lot of configuration. If you're working with a lot of end users, there's been in the past a sort of password negotiation where you're having to tell people what a password to use, or you have to get the password from them. This automatic deployment does away with all of that. So instead, you can go to our website, console.retrospect.com, which is already a dashboard that can take this analytic data and show this analytic data in a single pane, and you can just add in your licenses, and you'll get a link. This link doesn't require any kind of agent side password or any kind of configuration. It's just a link that you could send out in an email to your end users. They can click that. It's a single click install. You run it. There's no configuration that's needed. There's no agent password that's required. And Retrospect will go out and find these agents, find these endpoints, add them to the server, use this proactive AI we've already talked about to do the backups. This is all done without any extra effort involved by the administrator. So the administrator sets this up on console.retrospect.com, sends out the links. The users go and follow the link, run the download, then run the installer. It doesn't require any work on their part, and the administrator just can see, yep, everybody showed up, or oh hey, Carl or Dave, they didn't show up. Let me go and run down those individuals.
Well, a lot of our listeners too, JG, are small businesses, maybe even home businesses. Tell us what your offerings are for them, and you try to make it really affordable for those folks too.
We do. If you go and you look at our product offering for Retrospect Backup in particular, we have 4 different main products. We have Solo, and that's $4 a month if you're buying it as a subscription, or $50 for a perpetual license. This perpetual license, you can get a perpetual license for any one of these things. It's a one-time thing, and then that's good for for life. All right, it's good for that version. The subscription has an advantage, of course. Aside from the fact that it's only $4 a month, you will always have free tech support as part of that, and upgrades are free as long as you're subscribed. The other products, by the way, that we have aside from Solo, which will back up just one single endpoint, one single computer, is Desktop, which can protect 6 endpoints. And then we have Single Server that can back up, as the name implies, one server and up to 20 endpoints. And then you finally get to the true top-of-the-line product, Multi-Server. That's $179 a month or $3,000 for a perpetual license. And that really can take care of an entire site, right? It can back up 150 servers and really any number of endpoints.
The key points of what are new here is mostly the speed and automation.
So the speed and the automation, one thing, of course, with Retrospect being part of Store-Centric, we also have Nexan as well as Drobo. The previous release, we had a lot of Drobo compatibility enhancements. This release, we've come out with Nexan certification. So we've certified the product works really well with both the Nexan E-Series as well as the Nexan Unity series. The other thing that came out as a new release is a Restore Preflight. This feature is more for cold storage, and by that what I mean is if you're doing a backup, one of the things that everyone will recommend is a 3-to-1 backup policy. You need to have 3 different copies of your backup. They need to be in 2 different locations, and part of that means that you're backing up locally, but then you're wanting to back up to something like tape or to the cloud that's going to be offsite. And frequently they call that cold storage. It's harder to get to, right? And so you're backing up to tape. You then take those tapes over to your house or put them in a safe deposit box or something like that. Or if you're backing up to a cloud service like, say, Amazon, they have a much cheaper, cold version called Glacier that's a lot less expensive, but it takes longer to get that data back. And so in all these cases, if you're going to do a restore, you want to know, well, exactly what members do I need to bring back? What files do I need to move out from Glacier back to regular S3? We have this Restore Preflight report that can come through and not only tell you an audit of saying, yep, this is actually what you've got in your backup, but also this is what you're going to need to bring in a cold storage to do that restore.
Terrific. And as you said, there are different versions, different flavors for what your customers' needs are. Now, where can people go for more information to learn more about what you're doing?
As you would hope, retrospect.com should answer all your questions. We have all of our documentation is online as well as a forum, and so people should have no problem getting in touch with us. But we also have online chats as well.
Terrific. J.G. Heithcock, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Thank you, Fred.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love Crane.